What's up, elite people? So I'm already starting to figure out that doing this every day for 100 days is going to be a challenging thing. But hey, challenges are good, right? I've never done anything that was easy that I was proud of. So I wanted to clarify a few things about yesterday's video. You know, my little 100-day thing is associated with 100 days of no sugar. And I'm actually going to do a little more than that, but it was just the simple thing I wanted to put out yesterday. You know, I've heard it said that comparison is the thief of all joy. And usually when someone talks about that concept, the context that they're talking about is comparing yourself to someone else's success and suggesting that if you're not as successful as someone else is, it might take away from you focusing on the success that you actually have. One of the things that's occurred to me in how I'm doing it wrong is comparing myself to others and thinking, I'm good. You know, my fitness level is one of those things that I'm a little bit unhappy with right now. And I can tell you that through most of my life, I've been able to say, you know, I'm pretty fit for a 25-year-old. I'm pretty fit for a 30-year-old. I'm pretty fit for a 43-year-old today. But the problem is that I'm comparing myself to other people. I'm comparing myself to what I perceive as the rest of the population. And what I'm not doing is comparing myself to who I was yesterday. And when I do compare myself to yesterday, it's unfortunately in a negative way, thinking things like, you know, I don't really have to train as hard as I used to because I can't do the athletic things that I used to be able to do. Or there's no reason for me to be that strong. And unfortunately, what happens when you start thinking that way, you get on the slippery slope that allows you to start compounding the problem and doing more and more and more, right? Because if I don't need to be in really good shape, then I can go ahead and let myself eat whatever I want. And if I'm not working out, then there's no reason to keep my diet in check, which is ridiculous. And what's happened to me over the years is many times I've kind of let myself get outside of the bounds of what I thought was acceptable for my own fitness. And then I'd reel it back in again. And then I'd let myself get outside of those bounds again and I'd reel it back in again. But what I was doing was comparing myself to everyone else and thinking, as long as I keep myself in this portion of the population, as long as I'm above average in my fitness, then I'm good. Unfortunately, what I wasn't doing was comparing myself to what I should be rather than where I fit maybe in the population. And so part of this little 100-day challenge is me telling myself that I'm done with thinking like that. I'm done with thinking that my fitness level or my activity level or my work, my level of work can be compared to someone else in the population, to a group of people or to an individual. Because if I start doing that, especially when I start a fitness program, then it becomes really easy to get off track when you start thinking, well, I'm working really hard, but I'm not where this other person is, which again is wrong thinking. And I'm not allowing myself to think like that anymore. And I'm challenging you to stop thinking like that yourself. And so whatever your 100-day challenge is going to be, whatever you plan for yourself, focus on who you were yesterday and who you plan to be tomorrow. So I have this little mantra that I'm going to be sticking to, and I'm hoping to stick to this for the rest of my life. But it's this: who I was when I woke up this morning is based on the choices I made yesterday. Who I wake up as tomorrow will be based on the choices that I make today. And who I become as this day progresses will be based on every choice that I make moment to moment to moment. And I'm always going to be comparing myself to me. You know, if I'm able to keep up that thought process for the rest of my life, then on my deathbed, whether that's at 44 or 84 or 104, on my deathbed, I'll be the best version of me I've ever been. Start comparing your success to where you were yesterday, whether that's in your fitness or your personal growth or your relationships or your business, whatever it is you're looking to grow in, compare yourself to you. And if you keep doing that, you can never lose, because the only thing that'll happen is you'll either succeed or you'll learn. Hey, get fired up, because if you're not fired up,
you're not at all!
That's right.